Have you ever wondered how to make a traditional Neapolitan pizza at home? Picture the allure of a perfect pie, the crust charred just right, the tang of San Marzano tomatoes, the creaminess of fresh mozzarella. It's a culinary masterpiece from Naples, a city steeped in history and culture. Imagine bringing that slice of Italy right into your own kitchen. The aroma, the taste, the satisfaction of crafting it yourself. Stay tuned to discover the secrets of making the perfect Neapolitan pizza right in your own kitchen. The first step to making an authentic Neapolitan pizza is gathering your ingredients. To create that iconic, chewy yet crisp crust, we'll need Italian 00 flour. It's finely milled and perfect for creating light, airy dough. For the yeast, we'll be using fresh yeast, a key component in helping our dough rise to perfection. Of course, we'll also need some fine sea salt and lukewarm water to bring our dough together. Moving on to our toppings. The heart of any pizza lies in its sauce, and for that we'll be using San Marzano tomatoes. These sweet, tangy tomatoes are grown in the volcanic soil of Mount Vesuvius, giving them their unique flavor. Next up is the cheese. We're going with fresh mozzarella, the kind that comes in a ball and is packed with water. It melts beautifully, creating those delightful cheese pulls pizza lovers dream about. Now that you're armed with the right ingredients, it's time to get your hands dirty and start making the dough. The heart of any pizza lies in its dough, and Neapolitan pizza is no exception. To embark on this dough-making journey, we'll start with the basics, high-quality ingredients. You'll need 4 simple items: fine sea salt, water, fresh yeast, and the star of the show, 00 flour. This flour is finely milled, giving our pizza that classic light Neapolitan texture. Begin by dissolving a pinch of fresh yeast in warm water. The water should be just warm enough to activate the yeast, but not too hot, or it could kill our little yeast friends. Once dissolved, add the sea salt, stirring until it's entirely dissolved as well. Now it's time for our 00 flour to take the stage. Pour the flour into a large mixing bowl, creating a well in the center. This is where our yeast and water mixture will go. Slowly pour the mixture into the well, gradually incorporating the flour from the sides of the well into the liquid center. This process ensures an even distribution of the yeast throughout the dough. Once the ingredients are combined, it's time to get your hands dirty. Knead the dough for about 15 minutes until it's smooth and elastic. This is a crucial step because it develops the gluten in the flour, giving our pizza its distinctive chewy texture. After kneading, it's time for the dough to rest. Cover it with a clean kitchen cloth and let it sit at room temperature for 2 hours. This resting period allows the yeast to do its magic, causing the dough to rise and double in size. Once the dough has risen, divide it into 4 equal pieces, shaping each into a ball. These will be our individual pizza bases. Let these balls rest for another 4 to 6 hours, allowing them to puff up nicely. With the dough now rising, you can turn your attention to the delicious toppings. While the dough is proofing, it's the perfect time to prepare the sauce and toppings. Let's start with the tomato sauce. You'll need a can of San Marzano tomatoes. Pour the tomatoes into a bowl and, using your hands, crush them until you get a smooth consistency. Remember to keep it chunky. This will give your pizza a rustic and authentic feel. Now, onto the mozzarella. Freshly sliced mozzarella is key to a Neapolitan pizza. Thinly slice the mozzarella, but not too thin, as we want it to melt beautifully on our pizza, creating those delicious cheesy pockets we all love. When it comes to toppings, well, that's where your creativity comes in. Traditional Neapolitan pizza usually keeps it simple with a sprinkle of fresh basil leaves, but feel free to let your culinary imagination run wild. With the sauce and toppings ready, it's time to assemble and bake your pizza. Now comes the most exciting part, assembling and baking your pizza. So you've got your dough well rested and proofed, your sauce simmered to perfection, and your toppings prepped and ready. It's time to bring all these elements together. Let's begin by stretching the dough. Lightly flour your work surface and place the dough ball on it. Using your fingertips, gently press out the dough from the center, turning it as you go. You want to maintain a thin center and a thicker edge for that classic Neapolitan crust. Once your dough is stretched to approximately 12 inches in diameter, it's time to apply the sauce. Spoon a generous amount of your San Marzano tomato sauce onto the center of the dough. Using the back of the spoon, spread it evenly, leaving about 1 inch from the edge for the crust. Next, let's add our toppings. Scatter handfuls of fresh mozzarella over the sauce, followed by a light drizzle of olive oil. Now, remember, Neapolitan pizza is all about simplicity and quality, so don't go overboard with the toppings. Now for the baking. If you're using a wood-fired oven, make sure it's preheated to a scorching 800 degrees Fahrenheit. Slide your pizza onto your peel and then onto the oven floor. It should only take about 90 seconds for your pizza to cook in these conditions. Keep a close eye on it and rotate as needed. If you're using a pizza stone in a conventional oven, preheat your oven to its highest setting for at least 1 hour before baking. Slide your pie onto the preheated stone and bake for about 10 minutes, or until the crust is golden and the cheese is bubbly and slightly charred. Once your pizza is done, remove it from the oven and let it rest for a minute or two before slicing. This allows the cheese to set and the flavors to meld together. And there you have it, a delicious homemade Neapolitan pizza. Enjoy! Congratulations on making your first Neapolitan pizza! From perfecting the traditional Neapolitan dough and proofing, to mastering the San Marzano tomato sauce and fresh mozzarella toppings, we've journeyed through it all. Don't be afraid to experiment with different toppings. Make this pizza your own. After all, pizza is a canvas for your culinary creativity. Remember, practice makes perfect. So, keep making pizza and impress your friends and family with your newfound culinary skills. Until next time, happy pizza making.